we're gonna have to, I was like fabulous backup singers here. Kia ora and welcome. My name's ZoeStibi and I'm a vocal coach with over 18 years of experience in teaching people like yourself how to sing. So if you want to learn to sing with confidence and control, check out my online singing school, the Vocal Academy, because we are accepting new students. In today's analysis, we're going to be taking a look at Perrie with Go Your Own Way. She's an incredible singer. I don't need to say more. Massive Little Mix fan. Let's see what she's up to with her vocal technique. We're gonna have to, I was like turning all the dials up because this wasn't loud enough. That beginning, let's look at that again. Oh my goodness me, loving this. Great thicker vocal fold sounds, this chest voice quality, da, da, da. We got a little bit of darkening going on, which has to do with how long the vocal tract is. So how low the larynx is or how big someone's neck is, which I think Perrie's quite short actually. Let's just go and watch that. Has a lot to do with the vowel shape. Let's do that again. Right there. So we've got this again. We've got you, da. Again, little bit of that darkening of the timbre there. And she's got this little slack onsets going on there. And that's kind of giving us this, I'm at the beginning of the song, everything. So I'm really thinking about it before I start. So we're using those onsets in an emotional way, but also in a way to help us to get onto that chest voice quality. So slack is a really great way to get better vocal fold closure, even in that lower part of the range. So we didn't really go too loud there in the go, you go your way, I'll go mine, okay. So quite a simple chorus there, but that's what we want in pop music. We want it to, I listened to that once, literally first time listening, and it's in my head. And that's what we want, so that people remember the songs and they'll sing it everywhere, and then it's just like cha-ching, 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 you know. Hopefully, not really with streaming anyway. Let's go and have another little look at that chorus because I was too with the you go your way. Something first, I don't know, maybe something like you go your way, I'll go mine, okay, we'll be okay. You go your way, I'll go mine, okay. We're up on the B flat 4. So you go your way. And actually, when we go into the second chorus, I want you to notice how she's opening. You go your way. She's just modifying that vowel slightly instead of going, you go your way. Because that slightly more open vowel is going to help us to access that chest voice. Not to say that Perrie needs any help with accessing her chest voice. It's just that that's what a lot of singers tend to naturally do when they try. I say naturally because we don't know if it's been taught by a singing teacher or whether they've actually just decided that that's the easier way to go. But opening up in that vowel is what we do need to do in order to access the higher chest voice range. Okay, she's the most absolutely amazing singer. Did you notice that in the second verse there, it didn't necessarily get louder because her energy is getting bigger in terms of her body movements and the way that she's come out in front of the microphone. So when we're increasing the energy, we don't necessarily have to also increase the volume. It's sort of a way that we can get around just simply increasing the volume, because that can sometimes be just a bit boring that we just get louder and louder and louder and louder. So let's just go and have a little bit of a look more at what she does with it. I feel like the mix is a little bit terrible in this. Her voice is kind of sitting in with the other instruments, and I'm struggling to hear it kind of like over top of the mix. It's just kind of like a bit of bad sound design on the Graham Norton show there.
Time to face me and try to speak, but all that comes out is a little joke about me. Right then I know we'll be laughing when we look back in 5 years' time.
So we look back in 5 years. Yeah, again, it's up on that B flat 4. That's not very high for Perrie. We know that she's an amazing belter, but that's why we don't necessarily need to have that more open vowel for her. We look back in 5 years' time. Let's just watch that again.
About me. Right then I know we'll be laughing when we look back in 5 years' time.
So yeah, you can see there when she goes, we look back in 5 years' time. We had that open mouth. Could also just be due to the fact that the words that she chose to sing. But I was really just thinking about the we. When we get better at singing in our chest voices, we don't necessarily need to worry as much at that part of the range what our vowels are doing. But if you are struggling with your chest voice, then I do recommend that you have a look at my Find Your Chest Voice free singing lesson down in the description below, because I do go into how to get a better sound lower in the range before we start thinking about these notes, which are sitting right on the passaggio, before we change into either head voice or into belting. Okay, so I was just putting my inner ears like further into my ears because I really wanted to hear these fabulous backup singers here. Oh no, she doesn't have them written in there. So I've had a little bit of a Google, and I'm so sorry. I know that these fabulous background singers, these two beautiful women, gorgeous sounding women, gorgeous looking women, have been in a couple of other videos that we've done as well, but I cannot remember their names, and I'm so sorry. But if you know their names, then let me know down in the comments. You can hear that they're doing a fantastic job of creating this wonderful color with their background vocals behind Perrie. Now that's a couple of things. That's not only because they are very good background singers and they also do this for their jobs, but also that is down to the sound engineer as well, that making sure that the balance is sitting between the lead vocalist and the background vocals. But absolutely loving, you can hear those high harmonies coming in the background, but again, they're not coming through with loads and loads of twang, not cutting through over top of Perrie's voice. They're just sitting in behind. Let's just watch that again, because I was too focused on the background vocals. So you can hear that, hey, baby, that higher harmony line there. No vibrato coming through, really straight tone. And that's because in background vocals, we want to really watch the amount of vibrato that we're bringing in. Vibrato, when it's not matching with the other singer that's there, can create a bit of a disconnect. And it can mean that we bring the attention to the vocals and the vocalist rather than, that's the idea. They're like another instrument in the background in the band. So we want to make sure that they're blending and creating these undertones rather than coming to the forefront with their sound. Love that we've got lots and lots of different colors coming in here. Honestly, sometimes when you're listening to music for the very first time, it's quite overwhelming to try and catch absolutely everything. So I'm doing my best here. And there is also some building work going on above my office. So apologies if I seem like a little bit distracted today, because I hope you can't hear that they're banging and clanging upstairs. We will manage. We will do absolutely fine today. Let's just watch that little bit there. So when we've got this, you really getting up, but we've got this thicker vocal fold sound further up in the range. But again, we know that Perrie can go super, super high. So what we're thinking of doing is we're bringing in that cry, hey, oh baby. But it is more of this mixed voice sound. So we've got quite a decent amount of the cry coming in there, which is again in turn going to also help us to take that volume out of the sound. C? I feel like I'm not hearing that right. Slightly random to bring out a high C there, but you know, whatever, it's her song, she can do whatever she wants. So we had these kind of, I want to say pseudo high belts going on there. So I'm almost thinking and rethinking what I'm saying at the same time. How high we sing is not a measure of our ability. That's really, really important for you to know. As we work and train our voices, we will just automatically be able to sing higher and louder due to the stamina and working on the muscles in general. But like high and loud that's not going to decide how good someone can sing. We know that Perrie is a fantastic belter. She can go really high in her range. So this belt was not particularly high for her, but I don't want to poo-poo and say that it wasn't beautiful as well. I was just expecting it to go higher to kind of bring the energy up a little bit in the song, because she's sort of doodling around the same sort of note. So I would have expected it to go a little bit higher. So she did a little bit of a cry, I'm not okay. Okay, so we're up on the C5 there. Again, I was expecting an okay. So we don't know what's going on or why she decided to do that. We're never going to know, and that's not a problem. It's a lovely note. We had an opening of the mouth there for a little bit more of a belty sound. She leaned back. I think that was more in the artistry than anything else, but when the lean back is also sometimes due to anchoring in through those larger muscles of the back. Okay, so let's go back and have another look at those last notes there, because although I said that it doesn't matter how high you go, it is also really exciting, and that's due to the mirror neurons that we have inside our brains. And so when someone is belting or singing high, that is reminiscent of when we're cheering or when we're having a good time and we've got that jubilation going on, and so we feel that as well as audience members. That's why I get excited as well, just like you do when we hear these notes. How are we going to create them though? Let's have another quick look. Up on the F5 there with the belting, that is high, okay? That is a high belt, even for experienced belters. But personally, from teaching belt for so many years, I feel like once you get into the slipstream of belt, you can kind of belt right up to those high E6s even. But we've got a high larynx there, thicker than thick vocal fold contact. And we're making sure that you can see there, she's got the mouth opening going on, because that is going to help us with the acoustics going back down, or the air pressure going back down onto the vocal folds in order to help us to create that more belty sound. But we're looking for that. For me, I always like to imagine I've got sort of a mini person inside my mouth at that point. Rather than thinking about volume, the volume is going to be created through the thickness of the vocal folds. So we've got this, we look back, up on the D5. Yeah, that's a hard note for us to sing. And we've still got this, wah! It can really help. She's going forward there. Again, giving the impression that it is a much more difficult note for her to hit than it really is. And also, as we're increasing the energy in the song, it would be super boring for her to go, I mean, it also wouldn't bring in the color. So we as humans, we need to see that visual effort going into it, but we also need all of that kind of the movement and the way in which she's modifying the vowels is going to bring in the color of the sound. So the color of the sound is determined by a whole bunch of different things. And if you do want to learn about how to change the color of your sound and how we control it's called the timbre in music, then check out the link in the description below, because my online singing school, the Vocal Academy, is accepting new students. And that is one of the courses that I have available for you to look at the timbre of your sound. And especially a lot of people are interested in darkening it. So that's why I've got it for you down there. Let's have another little bit of a look, because I'm so sorry. This building work is really kind of distracting me a little bit. Oh, I absolutely love that. So when we're going higher up in the range and we're belting, you notice there she did, I mean, it's really great that she has, you know, she had her stomach free, so we really saw what was going on. There wasn't a hell of a lot of pressing. There wasn't a lot of muscle tension going in here in the head and the neck region. And that's what we really want to see when we're talking about someone who is an experienced belter. We don't want to be seeing loads and loads of work going on here, because that tension will tend to travel. She looked like she was chilled as a cucumber, but we really need, that comes through all of the years of work that she has put into her music, and especially through pregnancy and everything that goes along with it, with the hormones. There is quite a big change that happens in the vocal folds and as well in your whole support mechanism for the voice, especially seeing as, you know, everything down there kind of gets a little bit moved around. And so she would have spent a lot of time rebuilding all of her muscles, and also probably rebuilding the way in which she views her voice as well. So she's done amazing, and that's incredible singing. She's an amazing singer. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite Perrie song is, especially the live performances. I would love to have some links from you as well. Oh my goodness me, I'm so excited to see what she's up to with her music. If you're wanting to have a look at some more little mix, then check it out up here. And otherwise, singing lessons are down in the description below. My Vocal Academy is accepting new students, and happy singing. Have fun. Bye.